What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Brainwavezz. Welcome to my show. For those of you that are new, I kindly ask that you subscribe and go ahead and double tap the screen. How do you double tap the screen? Boop, boop. That's what you do. You just literally take your finger on your phone or your tablet and you go doot, doot. Double tap the screen. That's how you get the likes up. When you get the likes up, you allow other people to hear the message. So if you want to come here in the chat, you want to be a troll, you want to be a hater, hey, double tap the screen, get the likes up. It'll allow more trolls and more haters to come in and go ahead and say the negative things or whatever way you want to take it, things that you want to say. Also, for those of you that support the platform, do the same thing. Boop, boop, double tap the screen, get the likes up. It allows more people like yourself that actually support the content. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about is this whole Epstein files. That's right. We're talking about the Epstein files. I want to warn you and let you know that this is all a distraction. That's right. It's all a distraction. I find it very funny how all the people be going online posting video after video. They literally lighting the comment sections on fire, the live chats on fire. And all they've been talking about prior to this whole Epstein files is the government. It's so funny and it's so easy to manipulate and control the masses. The majority of you, they literally got you controlled. All they got to do is issue a story, issue a headline, issue some type of narrative, and you'll automatically believe it. You don't question it. You don't question the timing. You don't ask who, what, when, where, why, and how. You just run with it. They can re-trigger these things at any time. And the majority of people, they're just going to go with it. I find this very ironic because not too long ago, everyone was talking about the government shutdown. Not too long ago, everyone was talking about what about the seniors when it comes to SNAP benefits? Where are all of you that are focused on the Epstein files? How come I don't see you in the comment sections of anybody's platform? I don't see you in the live chat of anyone's platform talking about what about the senior SNAP benefits? It's as if poof, be gone. It was almost as if it's magic that when everybody was concerned about the SNAP benefits, everyone's concerned about Section 8 running out. Section 8 may not be there past November the 15th. You know, today's the 14th. Everyone was concerned with these things. Everyone was concerned with the military not getting paid, government workers not getting paid. Everyone was concerned about this. This is all the rhetoric you heard in live chats across platforms all across the internet, in the comment section, all across videos, post after post after post. That's all everybody was talking about. Government shutdown, government shutdown. And guess what else y'all was talking about? It's Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault. Y'all weren't saying it was the Democrats' fault. Y'all was like, it's Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault. It's the Republicans' fault. It's the Republicans' fault. It's the Republicans' fault. Nonetheless, all this talk, all this energy, all this typing in all caps, all this getting upset, everybody was all talking about the government shutdown and how bad the Trump administration was doing with things and what needs to be implemented. Everybody was in the chat talking about health care for everyone. We need to have health care. What about health care for everybody? And now, because the Epstein file conversation came out, no one's talking about it. What's up, Jay? What's up, Ozzy? Midas, I'm sorry. It's like, where did all of this go? It shows how easy it is to manipulate the average person. And if the powers that be can do this, to the majority of Americans, let alone citizens across the world, think about how easy this is for the average content creator to manipulate their viewers into believing a story. You see, you have to pay attention to the timing of why this whole Epstein files came out. Why is it that the Democrats who had access to these files, okay, this is what y'all got to stop and think. While the government shutdown was going on, the Democrats had access to these so-called files. You got to really pay attention to it. It's not like, oh, the government opened and all of a sudden we got the files. No, what happened was the government opened and they decided to run their game plan. What is their game plan? Government back open. Let's make Trump look bad for everything he's trying to do, he's trying to pass. And then let's also have a new person that gets voted into our particular Democratic Party. And then we can use that person to go push the Epstein files. And we're going to be focused all of our resources on the Epstein files. But just prior to that, when the government shutdown was going, a few days ago, everybody, including the Democratic Party, was talking about we need healthcare, we need healthcare, we need healthcare. How come none of them talking about healthcare right now? Nobody's talking about healthcare. All the headlines, Epstein files, Trump, Epstein, Trump, Epstein. You see how easy it is to control y'all? You see how it is easy to distract y'all? No one cares about healthcare anymore. No one cares about the things that we need to decide because the government could be back shut down in January. Nobody's caring about any of that. Y'all focus on Trump and Epstein. You're focused on trying to pull one person down when we actually talk about the Epstein files. There's more than Trump in the Epstein files. Like everyone is making it seem like it's only Donald Trump in the Epstein files. We got to go through 23,000 pages. And what? You mean to tell me the only person they're going to come up with is Trump? No one in the comment sections, no one in the live chats, no one across the entire internet, for the most part, with barring a few exceptions. This is always the statistical exception to the rule. You always have exceptions, but barring the exceptions, no one on the internet cares about Prince Andrew. You don't care about Bill Clinton. No, when it comes up to Bill Clinton and Prince Andrew, I don't see nobody say, release the Epstein files. Everybody's got their mouth shut. When it comes to the other individuals that could be in the Epstein files, no one cares. No one talks about it. It's just Trump, 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 Trump. And what that reveals about people is that they're clear. Because make no mistake, you want to talk about dirt when it comes to presidents? All the presidents got a little dirty in the mud. All of them. Republican, Democrat, Republican. We can find dirt on all of them. And while we talk about finding dirt on people, let's talk about you. Everybody says, release the Epstein files. It'll crucify Trump on the cross. We need to do it now. Bring them down. That's especially true for the Democrats. Well, let's ask this question. What would happen if we pull up your files? That's right. What if we were to pull your files? Because see, everyone has a file. That's right. And some of you will say, well, I haven't done this, I haven't done that, so there's nothing in my file. Okay, let's run with that. Let's say there's nothing in your file. Let's actually run with that. Let's say, hey, you haven't done anything. I don't have anything in my files to pull out. Okay. Hold on. Let's see. This message has just popped up. Let me screenshot this. Okay. So anyway, let's say you have nothing in your files. However, let's say you're haters, right? You got haters. You got people that don't like you no matter what. They don't like you for being you, right? Hold on one second, y'all. I got a phone call. Give me one second. My apologies, everyone. My apologies. This is a live stream, and I actually speak to people and I get phone calls and things like that. And that was one that I had to take. So, my apologies for the silence. But while we're at it, make sure you double tap the screen because there's quite a few people watching, and I don't see the likes, which tells me that the majority of people are watching as haters. If the likes don't go up and match the views, if they're not even remotely close, then that means that the majority of people are sitting here watching me to troll, watching me out of hate, watching me out of disgust. You understand? All you have to do to like is go boop, boop. You just double tap the screen. Let me show you. See this? Double tap the screen. You see the thumb up? Do I need to do it again? Look, tap, tap. You see the thumb up, tap, tap. It's that easy. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. It's just a quick tap, tap, and you get the likes up. If you're not willing to do that, then that just tells me that, again, you're here to troll and you're here to hate, which actually plays right into what I was trying to say before I had to take that phone call. You see? A lot of people are so focused on the Epstein files. They forgot about the government shutdown, but we'll get back to that conversation in a minute. People are on the comment sections across the internet, live chat. They're making videos and they're going around saying, release the Epstein files, release the Epstein files. We need it now. That's also what Democrats are doing. I thought Democrats were supposed to be focusing on the Affordable Care Act for you all, because you all that support that is a Democrat and you're supporting the left, right? Remember, they are supposed to be in support of you, but many of you might need that health care. Many of you need that focus. And instead of focusing on that, they're focusing on trying to bring Trump down, trying to get the Epstein files out. Instead of focusing on your health care, focusing on other things that we need to be paying attention to. Remember all those things you cared about when the government was shut down, about food, SNAP, everybody need benefits. What about the seniors? What about the elderly? That's all everybody was talking about. Now ain't nobody talking about it because everything is open. Government open. Now we can go focus on Epstein files. Remember, the government's only open until January. Okay? Now, everyone is saying, release the Epstein files, release the Epstein files. The fact that I got 61 people watching right now and only 13 likes proves my point. I showed y'all, doop. All you got to do is double tap the screen while you're watching. It's not going to take you out of the chat. You're not going to miss any messages. You're not going to miss anything on the screen. You got to go doop, and people still refuse to tap the screen. So what that tells me is that the majority of people watching are waiting to troll me, and they don't like me. They're hating because they obviously don't support the platform if they don't get the likes up. This goes right into my point. Now, you have people saying that we need to get the Epstein files out, but I posed a question earlier. What about releasing your files? You see, everybody has a file. That's right. Everyone has a file. What if people were like, release your file? What if your coworkers on a job was like, release your file? What if the boys that you hang out with or the girls that you hang out, what if they was like, release their files? Some of you will say, hey, I'm not Trump. I don't have anything guilty in my file. Oh, no. Don't be so too quick to that. But let's run with that scenario. Let's say you don't have anything guilty in your file. And people are like, release Jane Doe's file. Release John Doe's file, right? Check this out. You don't have anything guilty in it, but guess what people are going to do? People that hate you, people that don't like you, people that's jealous of you, what have you, guess what they're going to do? They're going to run a smear campaign anyway and try to bring you down and make things up. That's what people do when they don't like you, they mad at you, they want to be in your position. You see, that's something right now that you see in the Democratic Party. They want to get rid of Trump. They're focused on Trump. They're not focused on Prince Andrew. We know Prince Andrew was in the Epstein files. Ain't nobody really talking about it. Nobody cares. Nobody's like, release the Epstein files to get Prince Andrew. Y'all don't care. And it's funny because Prince Andrew got removed from the throne because of all of this. You know, because the royal family didn't want the attention. And then you got former President Bill Clinton. Former Democratic President Bill Clinton. Ain't nobody like, release the Epstein files for Bill Clinton. No, y'all ain't got no smoke for that. No smoke for Prince Andrew. No smoke for Bill Clinton. But everybody got all the smoke for Donald Trump. So you got to sit there and think about it. What if we were like, release your files? And what if you actually were innocent, but people tried to make up a situation? Well, you know, I seen you at this party with somebody. Well, you know, you had conversations with somebody. How many of y'all have people that you used to hang out with that you don't hang out with no more? There could have been people in grade school. Because make no mistake, while I'm talking about this, the same people that's guilty of some of the things that I'm talking about is not going to be paying attention in the chat. They're not paying attention. They're not listening. They're just Trump, Epstein files. Trump is guilty, Epstein files. They sound like a broken record. That's all they keep saying in the chat. That's all that's playing in their head. It's like y'all are literally programmed. They got y'all programmed. They have you completely distracted. Completely distracted on the things that actually matter. The things that are actually going on. Let me paint this scenario, right? You have, and let me just make this clear. I'm not paying attention to the live chat. So anybody saying anything in the live chat, I'm not paying attention to it. I looked at the live chat when I first started the stream, and I'm not looking at the live chat. So anybody posting anything in the live chat, you're wasting your time. If you're not super chatting, you're not putting your money where your mouth is, I don't see anybody's comments. And if anybody's saying anything negative, hey, talk away. You're literally proving my point. You're exposing yourself as one of the haters because y'all are the main ones that have not said doot doot. You're not double tapping the screen. You don't support the platform. And the only reason why you're watching me is to do the same thing to me that y'all trying to do to Trump. I'm making an example here. So back to what we were saying. What if we release your Epstein files, right? You have your files. And if we release your files, right, what would people say? Now, some of you say I don't have no dirt. But guess what? There's going to be haters. Just like people in the chat right now. People in the chat are saying all types of stuff about me, right? They're saying a ton of things that's not true. These people in the chat don't support the platform. This is probably their first time here. They don't know me. They don't watch me. They don't have no association. But guess what? People will look at that and be like, well, maybe that's what's in his files, the things that they're saying. And then guess what? You have this whole smear campaign. You have this whole distraction that's being ran with that's not even true. That's exactly what's going on with Trump right now. Instead of focusing on the fact that the government's back open, we have a lot of discussions to talk about that affect the American people. Like these discussions affect the American people. But people are focused on some stupid Epstein files. Epstein is dead and gone. All right. Epstein can't do nothing. And it's like people want to put Epstein's crimes, if you want to call it Epstein's sin, his wrongdoings, they want to put all of what Epstein did on Trump to make it look like that's what Trump was doing. So we can like, see, I told you he was bad. That's what people are doing. But y'all was focusing, begging Trump to open the government. Y'all was going around when the government was closed saying, it's the Republicans. It's Donald Trump's fault. When you look at all the polls, all those polls, it was going, it's the Republicans' fault. It's Trump's fault why the government's not open. So guess what? Now the government's open. Ain't nobody saying that. All of a sudden y'all get quiet. Y'all ain't got no talk about that. All the talk about the things you needed and the things that should be in place. Ain't nobody talking about it. You're distracted from it. And guess what? Y'all going to continue to get rocked to sleep and continue to be distracted because it's so easy to program y'all. It's so easy. And then when we come back around with January, y'all going to be back on the same train. It's just the same circle, man. Y'all going to be on that same circle again. What's that circle? Complaining on why the Republicans ain't doing this, Trump ain't doing this, Because let me make an example. Let me give y'all a scenario. Say something was incriminating in the Epstein files. Let's run with the scenario because this is what everybody's saying. Release the Epstein files. It'll get rid of Trump. Okay, so let's just run with a scenario. Let's say it was just a bunch of crazy stuff in the Epstein files. It came out publicly. Trump actually got placed in the court over the Epstein files. He got charged with stuff, and somehow the president of the United States got arrested. Let's just run with the scenario. He's serving jail time, right? Because that's what y'all want. Y'all blood is boiling. Make him do this. I want to see him in jail. I mean, you know what's crazy? People are actually acting like Trump personally did something to them. Like Trump, like they had a daughter or something like that, or a wife, and you know, there was some situation. I mean, people are like, I get it. I'm intelligent enough to comprehend it, but it's like the level of rage is insane. But anyway, let's say Trump got arrested somehow over the Epstein files. There was enough information. They incriminated, they got rid of him. What do you actually think is going to change? Do you think because Trump somehow were to be arrested in that scenario? And again, we're talking for the new viewers that came into the building. We're talking about a scenario that if there was something incriminating in the Epstein files and it came out publicly and it forced Trump to have to go to court and trial and all of this or whatever, and somehow he was actually arrested and charged with whatever, and somehow he had to step down from being the POTUS, the president of the United States, right? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think a lot's going to change? First of all, you got J.D. Vance, you got a vice president. So even if Trump was stepped down, the vice president would assume the president position. Do you think it would change the political party's power shift? No. Do you think it's going to change a lot of the laws or the bills or what's happening? No, it's not going to change anything. The only thing is you won't have Trump. Trump would, in that scenario, be in jail. And then you would be equally mad. Your blood would be boiling still. And then instead of being mad at Trump, you're going to scapegoat and focus on J.D. Vance. It's crazy. It's literally crazy. It's literally crazy. And you know what else is equally crazy? The amount of haters that are making themselves known in the live chat. Because they don't do a simple task. See this? All you got to do is this. Look. See the light? See the light come up? Double tap the screen. See that? But y'all won't take the time to do that. We got 100-something people in the building, And just now, 23 likes because I showed somebody how to double tap the screen and get the likes up, which means that 70 something of y'all are haters. You're potentially haters unless you just literally came in here and you didn't see this. For those of you that have been watching for the past 26 minutes, not you just rolled in here. Those of you that have been watching for the past 26 minutes and you still haven't double tapped the screen, that means that you don't support me. You're not here to support me. You're not here to have any intelligent conversation, etc., etc. You're only here to hate. You're only here to troll. And this is the same thing that a lot of successful people go through, a lot of wealthy people go through. And in the scenario that I gave earlier about what if people release your files and you be saying the same thing that Trump's saying, there's nothing in my files. Oh, I don't hang out with that person no more. No, but we saw you, John Doe. John Doe, we saw you going on lunch break with that coworker. John Doe, did you not work with that coworker for 7 years? You worked with that coworker for 7 years, and for 7 years, we got proof of you going out on lunch break. So you obviously had a conversation, right? Come on now. Or some other scenario where it's your neighbor or somebody you used to rock with, but you don't rock with them no more because you found out they was doing something crazy. You was like, I don't rock with you. How many of y'all been in relationships? I know the ladies understand what I'm talking about. Ladies, how many of y'all been in relationships, right? You started dating a guy. You thought he was cool. You was rocking with that guy. You was going on date after date, moving forward, etc., etc. Thought everything was cool. Then all of a sudden, you found out that guy was into something. But you was hanging out with that guy prior to. You was on Instagram. You was on IG, posting all your. You know how y'all do. You on IG posting all your selfies. You seen everywhere. You telling your girls. You telling everybody around you, this my new boo. And then you find out that he was into something. He was doing something crazy. Then you cut him off. Imagine if somebody be like, release Jane Doe's files. You don't rock with that guy. You found out that guy was into something. You cut it off. But then imagine people trying to implicate you for doing something that you didn't do just because you was cool with that person, because you was dating, because that was your boo. That's the scenario that's going on here. You see the same scenario? And it's all a distraction from what really matters. It's a distraction. Let me play this. I want to play this video for y'all real quick. Let me see. Let me get this on the screen real quick. This is an older video. It's an older video. However, it's a video that I want to play because this video is more relative now to me, in my opinion, than it was back in the day. Okay, back in the day, it had its place a couple of months. This is about 3 months old. But I want to play it now. And I want you to listen to what Trump is saying. And this is in relation to the Epstein files. We're going to stop the music completely. Stop the music. Stop the music. All right, let's go.
Yeah. Mr. President, I know you want to move past all this intrigue over the Epstein files, but I do want to ask you to clarify something you said this morning. You said this was all a hoax. Has your Attorney General told you this was a hoax? What evidence have you seen of that?
No, it's not the Attorney General. No, I know it's a hoax. It's started by Democrats. It's been run by the Democrats for 4 years. You had Christopher Wray and these characters and Comey before him. And it's a bad group. It started, actually, look at the Steele dossier that turned out to be a total hoax. The 51 agents, the intelligence, so-called intelligence agents, it was a hoax. It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats. And some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net. And so they try and do the Democrats' work. The Democrats are good for nothing other than these hoaxes. They're bad for policy. They're bad for picking candidates that can get elected. Like in New York, we have a communist running. He may get elected too, actually.
And of course, obviously, we know that he did get elected, right? I want to say something too that's really funny in the chat. I just so happened to look at the chat because I was playing this video right here. And I just so happened to look at the chat. Look at this person. I want y'all to see this. This is exactly what I'm talking about, right? Look at what this person said. This person says maybe people aren't feeling you. Don't take it personal. Victim mentality. You see what this person is saying? This person is saying maybe people aren't feeling me, but as I speak, more and more people are joining the stream. This same individual is watching me. Remember, I'm not going to y'all. Y'all coming to my platform. This same individual is watching me, commenting on my platform, but says that people aren't feeling me. Do you see what I'm saying? Do y'all see the hate? This is my first time ever speaking to this individual. I don't know who this person is. I'm not even speaking directly to this individual. I'm just using this individual's comment to set an example. This is what a lot of y'all go through. You go do what you do, and then you got haters, right? They're only watching what you do. They only hang around you so they can hate. You know why they hate? Because they jealous of you. They want to be where you are. For example, there's some people watching me right now wishing that they had a platform, wishing that they had a voice, wishing that they could have people watching them. If they were to go live, nobody would probably watch them. That is, if they're not actually engaging, entertaining, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All the things you need to do to be a content creator, a successful content creator. They want to be in my shoes. They wish they could do what I do, right? And you know the irony of it is, I'm one of the content creators that have helped many content creators either get their careers going or keep their careers going. And I'm talking about large platforms as well. That's something that I specialize in. And those same people could be helped. But you know what? Why would we invest our time and help someone is already showing that level of hate? Right? You see? You see? So I'm using this as an example how, just like how people here in the chat, you all can look at me, use me as an example, right? People in the chat that I don't even know and they don't know me, they're saying things that are not true about me. And they're putting that out in the public space. How's that any different than this whole Epstein file conversation? And again, why is the focus on Trump instead of everybody that's in the Epstein files? When you look at 90+% of the comments on social media, you hear people's conversations that want the Epstein files to be released. When you listen to the Democrats talking about the Epstein files, their focus is Trump. It's not everybody. It's not, let's go through the Epstein files so we can get everyone. No, their focus is Donald Trump. That's the headlines. That's all the news and media outlet headlines. It is Trump. That's all that's dominated. It's been no talk about SNAP benefits, no talk about Section 8, no talk about the economy, no talk about where we go next, no talk about are the Democrats sitting down with the Republicans after Republicans issued 15 clean resolution bills for them to sign. And then the irony of it is the Democrats, the 8 who broke rank, signed the same bill that was proposed to them 15 times. See, there wasn't a different bill that was proposed to open the government. It was that same bill. They just finally decided to sign it. You know why? Because they had this game plan. It was like, okay, we tried to hold out with the government shutdown. That didn't work. We tried to hold out with the government shutdown. It didn't work. All right, well, I guess we catching pressure because if y'all remember the polls during the government shutdown, when we started getting closer to like day 40 and all that stuff, the late 30s or whatever in terms of the number of days that the government had been shut down, you saw the polls shifting. It shifted from the Republicans and it was increasing with the Democrats. People was getting frustrated at the Democrats. They started looking at maybe it is the Democrats. The poll numbers was increasing on the Democrats. So they was like, okay, this don't look good. Let's go ahead and sign the same clean resolution bill that is a bipartisan bill that we both agree on. They signed it. Some of them broke camp. Now, you also, which I got to do another separate show, you don't hear nobody no more talking about how they turned face on Chuck Schumer. You don't hear nothing about the Democrats turned their backs on Chuck Schumer. It's all quiet. Why? Because it's Epstein files, Epstein files, Epstein files. You got a lot of haters in your life. A lot of haters might be co-workers. They don't want to, they mad because you do your job with excellence. They mad because you're successful. They mad because your clients, your customers, whatever, everybody like you. They mad because you coming up. Whatever it is, so they mad. They want to release files on you. They make up smear campaigns on you that's not true. They go talk to a bunch of coworkers. They'll pay people. That's called gang stalking, by the way. They'll gang stalk you on the job just to try to get you set up to get you fired. That's the same thing that's going on right now with the president. And they said the Democrats are focusing all of their resources on going through this whole Department of Justice situation to get all the 23,000 pages and blah, blah, blah released. Shouldn't they be focusing their resources on making sure the Affordable Care Act is good? Do any of y'all that may be on the Affordable Care Act care about your health insurance? Because remember, the government is only open until January. And you got to think you got Thanksgiving break coming up, right? A lot of people are going to start going on vacation next week. So it's already the weekend, right? Government's back open. They're going to have to meet next week. If they don't meet next week, boom, Thanksgiving. Next thing you know, they not really coming back till December. Okay? For the most part, people are going to be out. They're not coming back to December. Then when we get back in December, you got to stop and think. We basically got like 2 weeks. Because by the time we get into that third week of December, people are already going to be taking off for their family, for the Christmas break, and New Year's. So you're looking at, we only got, say, 2 to 3 weeks worth of voting on this stuff, and then we're going to be in January. And if they don't make decisions, we're going to be right back on the government shutdown. Y'all still going to be focused on the Epstein files? Because remember, I gave you the scenario. Say something incriminating in the Epstein files. Somehow Donald Trump goes to court. He goes to jail. He's removed from the president's seat. J.D. Vance will become the president. They'll just shift on up. So all the same bills, the big, beautiful bill, all that stuff, J.D. Vance is in support of that. Do you actually think it's going to change anything? And more importantly, do you think that the Democrats are going to actually change anything? They're not. They believe if they can remove Donald Trump, that they'll somehow hurt the Republican Party and take the power away. It's not going to work. Let me give you a prime example. Some of y'all know who Charlie Kirk is, right? Remember, he got assassinated. He got shot in the neck, right? Charlie Kirk. A lot of people figured since Charlie Kirk was unalive that was going to take Turning Point USA's voice away, that was going to stop stuff. No, you had more people join Turning Point USA since Charlie Kirk's death than he had when he was alive. His widowed wife, Miss Erica Kirk, she's sitting up there spearheading it, making it her life mission. You had the guy who tried to take him out, the exact opposite. Candace Owens, right? Shout out to Candace Owens. Candace Owens, she been going hard in the paint, talking about the scenarios. It hasn't stopped her, hasn't stopped her platform. I think she's live right now, as a matter of fact. She's live right now. It hasn't stopped anything. If anything, it strengthened it. It made it stronger. And why is that? Because a lot of this and a lot of their attempts, and I know you're going to be mad. I know you're not going to like it. I already know that. You're mad. Listen, you're mad. A lot of y'all were mad with me the moment you popped up into this live stream. The moment you saw my name, it notified you, whatever. You jumped in this live stream. You was mad before I opened my mouth. Before I could get any word out or finish a talking point, you was already mad at me. I don't like him. I don't like this. I want to do this. So y'all raging out. You don't double tap the screen. You're not subscribed. You don't hit the super chat. You don't join the membership. You don't hit the PayPal. You don't hit the Venmo. You don't hype the videos up. You don't do nothing. You just here watching. So you can be mad, so you can rage out because you got anger. You mad about your circumstance. You're mad about your situation, and you want to use me as a punching bag. I get it. You can't say these things to people out in public because you know somebody will knock your lights out or go. Rah! Many of y'all that's talking all that smack on the internet, y'all wouldn't dare say that to my face because y'all know it's consequences when you say it to somebody's face. Y'all know it. It's consequences when you say things the way that some of y'all say things in the chats. And not just my platform, but any of these platforms. Y'all can't say that to people out in the street. Y'all know how people are today. People will rot or they'll. What you say? Boom. What you say? You know how people are. Y'all know how people are. Again, let me reiterate this. Most of the people that's watching the platform based upon the viewers, the number of viewers right now, and based upon the number of likes. You all can see this. This is public information. I don't even have to say it. All you got to do is look at your phone, look at the chat. It's right there at the top. You can see how many people are viewing this stream versus how many likes we got. You do the math. We basically got almost a 60-40 split. You got 60 people that's here that's hating on the platform, that don't support the platform. They only come here to harass, to troll, to vet, to do whatever. This is the same type of things that a lot of successful people go through. This is the same type of thing that Donald Trump's going through right now. And you wonder why successful people don't like to lend helping hands to individuals like those. And then in the same breath, well, they're successful. They could help me out, but they're not helping. Gee golly, did you stop and think about how you talk to them, how you responded to them? You think somebody wants to actually help you out when that's what you're doing? Come on now. It's clear who's here to actually hear the message, to actually understand, just based upon the numbers. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. That's one thing that Jay-Z said. Right? That's Jay-Z's talking point. Y'all know the rapper, the mogul, Beyonce, Jay-Z, you know that Jay-Z. Right? You can clearly see, because if the majority of people here watching this message were supporters of my platform, they're actually here to support me, support what I do, then you would see it reflect in the likes. You see, I'm trying to teach y'all something. Most of the time, your haters are going to be the ones that watch you the most. And again, you'll know who the haters are based upon the rhetoric and the conversations that's going on in the chat. Listen, I'm not looking at the live chat unless I just decide to look at it like I did with this particular comment here to make a talking point. I'm not looking at the live chat. I don't know who's in the live chat. I'm not paying attention. So you got a lot of people that's just talking, and I'm not even looking in the live chat. I don't know who's saying what. I don't know who's saying hi. I don't know who's here other than just looking at the numbers. And they just talking and talking and talking. I see the chat, it be scrolling. They having full-fledged conversations, and I'm not even engaging with them. Isn't it? I mean, you know, you're entitled to talk, but I mean, I'm not even like looking at the chat. It's just crazy. These people are only here to hate, because if they were here to support, you would see the likes be up. You would hear it in their conversations. And this is the same thing that you hear every time Donald Trump speak, anytime the Republicans, not the Republicans, the Democrats speak. It's like that hate. It's like the hate. Oh, we hate the fact that Trump is president. Oh, we hate that we can't get him on this. Oh, we hate we can't bring him down. A lot of y'all hating on me right now, the fact that y'all can't bring me down. Listen, y'all can report my channels. Y'all, listen, this ain't my first rodeo, man. First of all, when people go report somebody's channel, YouTube looks at all of that. So y'all wasting y'all time. I'm going to report his channel. You can report my channel all day long. It's not going to stop anything because I'm not violating YouTube's terms. I know the rules. I know the laws, and I'm not violating. You may not like what I have to say, but I'm not violating it. You're just mad because I know what I can say and what I can do based upon the platform's rules. Hey, don't get mad at me. Don't hate the player. You hating the game. I just work here. You heard the same, man. I only work here. I don't make the rules. There's YouTube rules. Right? I'm trying to teach y'all lessons. There are people around you that's looking at what you do and they hating on you. They come around you. Hi, John Doe. Hey, Jane Doe. They act like they cool with you. They come around all the time. For example, me as a content creator, at least with this particular hat that I'm wearing right now, they come up in my live chat or in the comment section when I go live. But are they supporting? They ain't hitting the super chat. They not double tapping the screen. Listen, there's a bar running across the bottom of the screen. I don't want to hear that I didn't know that I need to double tap the screen. It's literally scrolling and been scrolling for 47 minutes. If you're reading the live chat, if you're typing in the live chat, that means you're capable of seeing the message that goes across the bottom. You're capable, but you don't want to because you're not here to support the platform. You're here to hate, right? That's how a lot of people do with some of y'all. Some of y'all have these same experiences. You wondering, why is it that this person always showing up? Every time I'm doing this, and they might smile and act like they cool, but no, they a hater. They're trying to wait and find some way to bring you down. They trying to find the Jane Doe files. They trying to find the John Doe files. They're trying to team up with other people. They secretly been sent by other people, and they working together to try to bring you down. And you know what irks them? You know what irritates them? They can't bring you down. They don't bring your mood down. They can't affect your mood, right? They don't affect your work. They don't affect your reputation, even though they try. Because listen, people can see what's going on, man. People can see it. It's obvious. It's very obvious what the focus and the intent is. And you got to stop and think. In the critical stage that we're in, all the people wondering how they're going to eat. They was talking about crashing out with the stores, prices. Where's all that conversation? I want to ask all the Democrats that are like Epstein files, Epstein files, Epstein files. We need the Epstein files now. Epstein files, Epstein files. I want to ask y'all, all that rhetoric when the government shut down. Well, Trump is saying that the grocery prices are down, but I went here and everything is still up. Y'all was focused on grocery price. You was focused on how ain't no jobs out there. Focus how I'm working, but I can't get out of my situation. I'm stuck here. Oh, woe is me. Oh, woe is me. Am I going to be able to eat? What about the seniors? What about the single moms? What about the government workers who lost their jobs and they can't get paid? What about the air traffic controllers? Y'all was focused on all of that. That's all that y'all was talking about. Wah. Now that the government's open temporarily, only until January, mind you. You stop talking about it because you focus on the Epstein files. All of a sudden, the Epstein files became more important than people eating, than people getting paid, than decisions with healthcare. Listen, you can get mad at me all day long because I'm bringing awareness to this. But it's true. When have you heard the Democrats talk about the Affordable Care Act since the government been open? Literally the same day that Trump signs the bill to open the government and all the stuff that he's planning on doing, the Epstein files come out because they wanted to distract you from what he's trying to do and distract y'all from focusing on that so that you could go focus on the Epstein files. Let's play some more of this video.
He'll destroy the city.
Mr. President, I know you want to move past all this intrigue over the Epstein files, but I do want to ask you to clarify something you said this morning. You said this was all a hoax. Has your Attorney General told you this was a hoax? What evidence have you seen of that?
No, it's not the Attorney General. No, I know it's a hoax. It's started by Democrats. It's been run by the Democrats for 4 years. You had Christopher Wray and these characters and Comey before him. And it's a bad group. It started, actually, look at the Steele dossier. That turned out to be a total hoax. The 51 agents, the so-called intelligence agents, it was a hoax. It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the...
Yo, I just saw something in the chat. Now, let me remind everyone in the chat. A lot of y'all are having conversations. Y'all having conversations with me that I'm not having with you. I'm not looking in the live chat. This is the second time I looked in the live chat. The first time I did it was when I was playing the same Trump video. This is the second time that I've resumed playing this Trump video, and I just started looking in the live chat. And there's something that someone said that actually caught my attention. I got to check this out now. I got to verify this, but shout out to Matthews. Matthews says CNN already apologized for reporting on the fake emails. These people are pathetic. Let me see this. I gotta do some research, and I don't know. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play the video and let me try to do some research on this. Now, I don't know if Matthew's comment is actually verified because again, I gotta verify it. But if that's true, that's crazy. Anyway, let's play the video while I'm trying to look.
Democrats, and some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net, and so they try and do the Democrats' work. The Democrats are good for nothing other than these hoaxes. They're bad for policy. They're bad for picking candidates that can get elected. Like in New York, we have a communist running. He may get elected too, actually, but he'll destroy the city. It's I call it the Epstein hoax. It takes a lot of time and effort. Instead of talking about the great achievements, we've had a great gentleman yesterday, as you know, went on CNBC and he made the statement that Trump may go down as the greatest president of all in the United States. And instead of talking about the things we've achieved, we've had tremendous achievement. They're wasting their time with a guy who obviously had some very serious problems, who died 3-4 years ago.
Hey, Matthew, can you do me a favor? Matthew said, just saw a clip an hour ago. Matthews, do you know where you saw that clip at? Because if I can find that clip, if you can point me in that direction, I would like to play that clip. So let me know where you saw that clip is so I could take a look at it and see if it's something legit and play it. Let me know if that clip actually came from an actual news or media outlet. Like if it's a clip from a content creator, I can't rock with that. It has to be from like a legitimate website or news and media outlet, so that way we can hold that platform accountable. Just let me know, Matthews, if you see it. All right, let's continue. Let's continue. And you see, it's funny. This video is 3 months old, yet the same response that President Trump is saying here applies to it today. He said, instead of focusing on all the things that he's accomplishing, they're trying to do this to distract. And here they are. They did this 3 months ago, and they running the exact same play again, and y'all can't see it. Y'all can't see that it's a distraction. When I say y'all, I'm talking about those of you that's like Epstein files, when you was just hollering, when is my baby going to eat from SNAP? What about all the single mothers and the seniors and the military vets? When are they going to eat? It's no fair that they're starving right now. The government shut down. What about all the government workers? They deserve to get paid. Why am I not getting paid? All these conversations just went out of thin air. Poof, we gone. Why? Because they talked about the Epstein files, the biggest distraction. And these are only the tip of the iceberg in terms of conversations. There's other conversations, but I'm just bringing this up to make a point. These are things that the American people was literally screaming at the top of their lungs. You even had the American people focus. Here's another thing. The American people was focusing on the National Guard coming to each city, and not only for cleaning up the cities or attacking the cities, if you want to see it that way, but also the whole illegal migrant situation, the migrant crisis. These are just some of the conversations. All of a sudden, all of those talking points that the Democrats had, you don't hear nothing about it. Trump, Epstein, that's all you hear, like a broken record. Why? Because they're trying to program it into your brain. They want you to go out and be like, Trump, Epstein, Trump, Epstein, Trump, Epstein. You look, they want you to act like a child. You know how children, they want what they want and they not trying to hear nothing else? That's how they want to program a lot of you all. They want you all to be just like a child's behavior in that particular example. Meaning, I ain't trying to hear nothing else. All I want to hear is Epstein files. Whatever Trump is wrong, everything's doing wrong. Epstein files. We need to bring him down. Come on now. Anyway, let's continue to play the video.
I'd rather talk about the success we have with the economy, the best we've ever had, and all of the things we've done, including the Middle East. I mean, you see it. Instead, they want to talk about the Epstein hoax. And the sad part is it's people that are really doing the Democrats' work. They're stupid people. Yeah, go ahead.
There's lots of reports coming into this meeting that you planned on firing Fed Chair Jay Powell. Markets reacted.
Is that right? Those are reports, but they're not true.
So what would be useful to know, are you committed to picking someone from the outside? Are you going to interview individuals that are
so
on the
many
board
people
right
that
now?
want that job. I have people that I've known a long time. They're calling me, begging for the job. You know what you need there? A smart person with common sense, but you need a very smart person for that job. I think it's one of the easiest jobs in government. You show up once a month and you make a statement about where the economy's going, and we're going to raise or lower interest rates. It's probably the easiest job I've ever seen. That's why I'm trying to figure, why does he want to expand and add more people? He's going to add more economists to tell him what to do. But the economists, I was right. All the economists were wrong. They admitted it. They admitted it this morning. Quiet. Go ahead.
Mr. President, you mentioned fraud in an earlier answer. Are you saying you want to investigate the Fed chair for fraud related to this renovation?
Well, I think he's already under investigation. He spent far more money than he was supposed to on rebuilding. I didn't see him as being the kind of guy that would want to have parks, rooftop parks, and everything else on top of it.
So, that's a point. I just kind of want to bring this up since it was mentioned here in this particular video. The Fed chair is under investigation for spending more money for renovations than he was supposed to. But nobody's talking about it. Why? Because it ain't Trump. It ain't Trump. Listen, here's the thing. If people are actually focused on doing the right thing and making a difference, why is it that they just laser focus only on one person? Why is it that the conversations are only on one person instead of everyone? Now, again, there are some people that meet the statistical average that actually says, yes, I'm focused on everyone. But the number of individuals that meet that statistical average is far and few in between. The majority of people that's talking on the internet, talking in the chat, probably talking in my live chat, because again, I'm not reading the live chat. I got to stress this. I got to remind people I'm not reading the live chat. Unless I tell you I'm about to go look at the live chat or I just look, I'm not reading it. Do you understand? I got 100-something people in the building right now. I'm not reading the live chat. And this is one of my slower lives. There are times when I've had 5,000 plus people in my live chat. I'm not reading the live chat. So again, people are in the live chat trying to have conversations with me. I'm not talking about you all are having conversations amongst yourselves. The live chat is primarily a place for you all to engage each other. You understand? I'm focusing on running a show. I have a show to run. I got to focus on the topic at hand. And if I choose to take a look and go into the live chat, then hey, that's my choice. But I'm not focused on the live chat. You have people that are in the live chat just going and going and going. They don't super chat. Again, they don't support my platform. And I'm not talking about the new people who just came in just a minute or two ago. You all just walked in the door. So you're trying to get acclimated and figure out what's going on. I'm talking about the people that's been in my live stream for an hour or close to an hour. And they've been here and they heard me repeat this like a broken record. And they still refuse to double tap the screen. Again, what do you mean, Brainwavezz? What do you mean by double tapping the screen? You take your phone and you go like this. Boop, boop. See that like button go up? Boop, boop. Y'all saw that? But they refuse to do that, which means that they're here to hate, they're here to troll, they're here to scapegoat. A lot of people are angry, they're frustrated, and they're looking for somebody to take it out on. There's a lot of people that come on social media. They look for platforms. They look for someone to say something that is I don't want to necessarily say the opposite, but something that doesn't support their views or support what they expect to hear, would like to hear, right? So they will use individuals like that to take their anger and rage and frustration out. And you're seeing that in the chat. You can see who's mad. You can see who's broke. You can see who's upset, who's not going anywhere, blah, 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 blah. They're just trying to use me as a scapegoat. If that makes them sleep better at night, then hey, so be it. Somebody got to do it. And this is what happens to a lot of successful people. See, I'm successful whether you like it or not. A lot of y'all are mad at me because I'm successful. It's not by my own doing. I put in the blood, sweat, and tears. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the biblical God, Christ's father, is the reason why I'm successful ultimately. And then those of you that actually understand and get it, that truly are here to support, your support contributes to the success greatly. And I'm appreciative of it. I'm humbled by it. And then you have the other individuals that are here. They just don't like it. They want to see me fall. They want to see my platform fall. They don't want to see success. They don't like it when people come back and they agree with me. It's like, great talking points. I like your platform, blah. They don't want to see that. They just want to see blood on the wall. Like, when have we become so evil? There used to be a time, say, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that for the most part, the conversations out of people, especially when they don't know you, they were positive. Now, when you look at people on the internet, it's all negative. When you meet people, it's all negative. And you wonder why we have relationship breakdowns. Like, you wonder why we have romantic relationship, business relationship. It's hard to find friends, keep certain friends, keep relationships, because everything is so toxic and negative. And you can see an example of that in the live chat. Look in the live chat. For those of you that are viewing, look at who's saying what, who's mad, who's talking. And again, I'm not even looking at the live chat. I just saw a super chat pop up, and that's the way to catch my attention. Now, because the super chat popped up, I see it, and I'm going to respond to it. But in terms of all them other comments, I'm not even looking at it. So like I said, it's a lot of people is just, I don't know. Maybe they need to get some things off their chest. You know, they mad. So if God wants to use me to be their punching bag and they want to say some things, hey, it is, somebody got to do it. It is what it is. Go ahead and get your anger and your frustration, your rage off at me. And then maybe you can get some good night's sleep tonight. Hey, I did a great service. All praises go back to God, not me. But shout out to Josh. I really appreciate you, Josh. Shout out to Josh for the $19.99. Josh is literally funding today's show or tonight's show. Josh, you are funding the show. Josh says, you are the man, Brainwavezz. Salute. My support to you. Josh, all praises to the Most High. I appreciate your support, fam, but this is all because of God. And I know the fact that I even said this is all because of God, you know, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the Bible. You know who Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is? Do I have to go through the Old Testament and actually teach people every single thing that I'm saying? Right? Because of that God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you know, Christ's father, you know, John 3:16, you know, sent his only begotten son. You know, for God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten son. Y'all, you know what I'm talking about, right? The Bible, right. He gets all the praise. And he puts me on this platform for various reasons. Some reasons some of you get, other reasons some of y'all don't get. And when you're in this position, it's a challenging position. It's a position that a lot of people might not be able to survive in, because what happens is you're a target. You become a target for no reason. People are literally on this platform just to target me. They wait for me to go live. No matter what I'm talking about, they just talking. They probably talking about stuff that's not even related to the show. And that becomes a distraction. But I'm letting it fly and I'm not even looking at the chat because I want it to be a teachable moment on how you have people around you in your neighborhoods, in your communities, in some of the clubs you belong, at work. Some of y'all might be on social media. I got some content creators that are probably in the building, and they probably treat you the same way. They treat you the same way. And you know what's funny? It doesn't matter what you say or do, right? If you change your talking points, for example, right? Let me give y'all an example. Let's say you're being criticized for, we'll use Trump to make this easy to understand, right? Let's say I'm being criticized by people in a live chat who says I should bash Trump. I should be on here dragging Trump, talking about release the Epstein files, release the Epstein files. I should be bashing Trump, right? Okay, so let's say I started bashing Trump. Let's say I started making content and I started bashing Trump. Guess what? I'm still going to have people that's going to come into my live chat. They're going to be, hey, talking about, why are you bashing Trump? What's wrong with you? You shouldn't be bashing Trump. And it's going to be the same old beats, same old flows, same old streets, same old roads, same old speech, same old shows. Everybody sound the same. Look around. It's nothing changed. That's from my Mind Slavery song. It's going to be the same old beats, same old flows. Except this time, instead of saying, hey, you're saying that the president is innocent in this situation, you should be saying that the president is guilty. And then if I say that the president is guilty, it'll be people doing the same thing, crashing out, raging out, saying, the president is innocent. What's wrong with you? You don't see it. You see, you can't satisfy people. I'm not here to satisfy people. I'm here to educate people. I'm here to edify people, to help people learn things, to help people understand things, to connect with them by using this political platform and this particular subject matter to get them to actually understand that these things take place in their lives. I know even the people that's pissed off with me right now, if they could just sit down for a second and actually listen to the message instead of venting and talking. You know, we got 2 ears, 1 mouth, but there's people in the chat that's talking negatively twice as much as they doing listening. This is why they don't get the message. They're not paying attention. I'm sure even with them, they have people that do them the same way. They have particular views. They have particular things that they choose to do in life. And people are ridiculing them. People will ridicule you for the type of car you want to buy, drive, the clothes you want to wear, the house, the place you want to stay, what city you want to live, why you want to. It's like you can't do nothing. The food that you choose. Like, people literally will criticize you over everything. Why you choose that color? Why you on this platform? Why you listen, that's your issue. You understand? And that's something that those individuals have to come to grips with. Okay? That's not my issue, or even those of you in the live chat, for example. That's not your issue either. That is that individual or those individuals' issues. And guess what? It's going to continue to be their issues until they deal with. That's where it comes in now with the Epstein file situation. Like I said, I posed this example and I'm going to continue to post this example. For those of you that your blood is boiling saying, we need to get the Epstein files now. Okay. You all, and there are some people that's saying this. So shout out to those of you that are actually saying this. You all, if you want to go on this whole Epstein files trip, whatever you want to call it, need to be focused on everyone, not just Trump. Everyone. There's Democrats that was there with Epstein. Okay, there was Democrats. Let me say this again. Democrats was there partying with Epstein. There's Republicans. Listen, like the Diddy parties. Listen, all these celebrity parties, all these well-known parties, everybody come out to the parties, man. That's what they do. And just because they came out to the parties don't mean that they was guilty. That's silly. That's just like saying you at a party Like you watch it, for example, like in some of the movies, right? Everybody's partying. Somebody come in, police come in, find out somebody was in there trying to push drugs or something in there at the party. Guess what? The person or persons that was pushing the drugs, that tried to distribute the drugs at the party, they're guilty. But guess what? You'll have people to say that everybody that attended the party is guilty. You know, they went to that party. Everybody, you know, somebody trying to push drugs. Guess what? All of them was using drugs. All of them was on drugs. Do you see how silly that sounds? That's just like saying you work at a company, right? You work for a company. That company CFO, CEO was found of doing some type of fraud or stealing something, right? Big news, breaking news, whatever, so-and-so or whatever company found doing this, doing that. And that's just like saying that every employee that works for that company is guilty too. It's just stupid. It's dumb. But this is the type of mindset that we have today. And you wonder why we can't get anywhere. It's like, when are people, I have yet to see people sit down and have conversations like without being raged. There's so much rage. I'm gonna have to get back to my liberal AF videos. Oh, that pissed people off. I did part 1. I'm gonna have to do part 2, part 3. You could see the level of rage and blood boiling and anger and hate for anybody that was either pro MAGA, pro Trump, pro Republican, whatever. Like, it was crazy. And it was like the actual Trump supporters or what have you, they weren't even saying anything that would cause somebody to rage out. They had this one video where a dude was getting attacked on the street. He was like, hey, I'm here. I'm just trying to spread the good word about the Bible, about Christ, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Them liberal AF is like, I don't want to hear nothing about God. They was raging out. They was attacking old dude, bloody. I got it in my part 1. It's all in there. And I got to do my part 2, part 3, part 4. It's crazy. I don't see this type of behavior from the right. This is not to say that it ain't no people on the far right that's not tripping. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the level of hate and rage and attack and violence. And it's like you see and you hear this rhetoric, regardless of what hat that they wear, regardless of what presentation they might present. There's a prime example right here in my chat. And I'm not even looking at the chat. Trust me when I say I'm not looking at it. If you've been looking at my eyes, some of y'all so busy just typing, just shh. If you've been watching my eyes been straight up in the camera. I'm not looking at the chat. I'm not looking at nothing. But y'all having conversations. I'm sure y'all having conversations with me as if I'm paying attention, as if I'm just sitting there watching. Don't you understand? We have a show to run. And unless we're conducting the show where we say, hey, we're going to go through the live chat and we're going to do this and do that, we don't have time to be going through, especially those of you that are negative. Now, if I do focus on any comments right now, I'm going to focus on the positive comments, because we always focus on the negative. The negative gets all the attention. For example, all this negative talk about the Epstein files and what's going on. Why we need to be focusing on this? Epstein is dead. He dead and gone. We got more important things to be focused on, but instead, look at the political party that's trying to bring all this stuff up as soon as the government opened, with only roughly 2 to 3 weeks worth of negotiating time before we're back in January. And they're focused on the Epstein. Yeah, we got a new person in the party. She was sworn in now. Now that the government was open, the Republicans Mike Johnson allow her to be sworn in. Adelita was sworn in now. And her first goal is to focus on the Department of Justice and the Epstein files. Her first goal is not, hey, let me help all of the people all of my constituents that are on the Affordable Care Act, and let's work with your health insurance to make sure your premiums go down. No, that ain't what they talking about. They was talking let me make something clear. It's so easy for people to talk all of this smoke when they're not in the same shoes because they have no skin in the game or not enough skin in the game to lose. Right? So the craziest thing is I'm asking you all for all my Democratic supporters in here, how come you don't see them talking about all of the issues that affect the American people? They claim that they're for the American people and that the Republicans not, and obviously Trump is not. They claim that Trump is tearing everything up, destroying everything, making everything bad. This big ugly bill and all the stuff, the rhetoric, the rhetoric that comes out of the Democratic Party. They're claiming all of this and they claiming, hey, we're focused on the people. We're focused on the people. Now that the government's open and they can actually make some moves, are they showing you they focus on the people or are they focused on Trump? You see? You see? Because again, I told you, if somehow if there was something in the Epstein files and it incriminated President Trump, and if somehow Trump went to court, he got charged, he got arrested, he went to jail, the first time ever a president of the United States went to jail, whatever, J.D. Vance will become the president. And J.D. Vance is in support of the big, beautiful bill and all the stuff that Trump is trying to pass. It would change nothing. It would not somehow supernaturally have the Democrats jump into a president's seat, at least not right now, at least until elections come back around. But it would not all of a sudden have a Democrat just jump into the president's seat and Democrats just take over. It would achieve nothing in terms of that particular goal. You don't think they don't know that? You think the Democratic Party is not smart enough to know that what I just proposed to you would be the outcome? J.D. Vance will become president and then everything else will move up, blah, 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 blah. It just be what it's going to be. And we'll move forward. And as a matter of fact, just like I told y'all with Charlie Kirk and some other situations, it would be even more bigger. It would be even more energized. Sometimes when people spend all their time and energy trying to smear campaign you, try to bring you down, they trying to criticize you, they're teaming up with individuals, somebody paid them, they were sent, they got this goal, they just can't stand you, they can't stand your success. They can't stand your light. The Bible says we're the light of the world. Those of us that believe in the Bible. Those of us that have pulled a John 3:16, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? The Bible says we're the light of the world. So what does that mean? We're going to shine when the world is dark. People going to see you. You can't stay hidden. They're going to see you. That's why, listen, if the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob has blessed you, whether it is with intelligence, with skill, spiritual, your spiritual gifts that the Bible talks about, etc., whatever it is, right? Intangible, intangible, relationships. Don't be hiding that. Shine. Be proud of your friendships. Be proud of your romantic relationships. Be proud of your family. Be proud of your home and your car and, your ability to travel or, create things or your talents that you have, whatever it is, right? Be thankful. Be proud of that. Don't hide. We're not meant to hide. We're meant to shine. And you got a lot of folks that are demons. They can't stand the light. They can't stand the light. They mad that you shining. Listen, everybody has a moment where they're going to shine. Everyone has a moment when they get recognized, right? So when it's your moment, you got to shine. They mad. You got a lot of folks that's mad that right now is Trump's moment. He's president. It's his time to shine. Hate it or love it or hate it. I can't stand seeing what he's doing. Well, everybody will have their time. Everyone will have their time. I want you all to be encouraged because regardless of what anybody trolling me or hating me is going to say in the chat, y'all not going to stop my shine. You're not going to stop what I'm doing. You're not going to cause me to lose any sleep. I'm not crying. Listen, I be completely unfazed by this stuff. It's like, I just look at it like, why would somebody be invested for an hour and 21 minutes right now trolling me when I don't know them, they don't know me, and they're just going and going? What is inside of a person to do that? For those of you that get what I'm saying, those of you that's on the righteous path, those of you that have some type of intelligence, those of you that are mature, and you get what I'm saying, because you can literally put yourself in my situation. Because I know you got people that's just like that. Why would someone invest all this time, all this energy to troll you or go down when you don't even talk to them? You're not. You listen. I'm unaware of any specifics that's going on in the chat. I'm just literally talking to y'all, right? Why would somebody spend all of that time if they don't know you and you're not responding? You got to pay attention. What is their motive? What is their game? You see, that reveals how people be on demon time. And I want you to pay attention. Pay attention to people that on your job, in your community, on social media, wherever it is, they spend all their time trolling you and you don't even know who the heck they are. You haven't responded, you haven't said, you haven't acknowledged, and they're spending all that time. What do they stand to gain? Who sent them? You would think if somebody doesn't like what you're doing, what you're saying, they would just leave, right? I ain't got no hostages here, for example, on my channel. Ain't nobody hostages. You can unsubscribe, you can leave. You think I'm gonna lose sleep? No. People come and go. This is social media. Welcome to the world of business. It's like this in any profession. People come and go. You have good days, you have bad days. Right? Why would somebody who claim you're so wrong, you're so this, you're so that, be so focused on you? Be so focused on trying to point out things, negative things. They don't point out positive things. They only focus on the negative things, just like they're doing with Trump. Because they try to distract other people from your greatness. You got people that's probably in the chat right now trying to distract those of you from the message that I'm saying. They want you to focus on all the garbage that they're saying in the chat because they're haters, they're on demon time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're upset that they're not successful. They're upset that they don't have the work ethic. They're upset that they get affected by stuff. Some people wish they could be like me. They like Brainwavezz. How come you not being affected by this stuff? How come it don't cause you to lose sleep? You don't get upset? Because I rock with the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And this is an example of my walk and my faith. That's why it doesn't bother me. Greater is he that's in me than all of these trolls and demons or whatever you want to call them in this world. So it don't bother me. I already know. I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. But you're going to have people that's going to do you like that. Those people are sent from Satan. I don't care what titles they got. I don't care what they are. I don't none of this earthly stuff matters. Where they claim, what they claim they do for a living, none of that stuff matters. Those people, if you don't know them, you don't talk to them, but they steadily focus on saying nothing but negative stuff and bring you down, they're jealous about you. They're hating on you. And a lot of times that jealousy and hate has nothing to do with actual physical things. They're jealous and hateful of the person that God made you. They're hateful of the gift that you got inside of you. A lot of evil people will be able to see the gifts that you got on there, that you got inside of you, and the things, the accomplishments that you're going to do. They be mad about that. So they try to stop and they try to hate. They spend all their time. Why they spend all their time? Because the devil sent them. If I start pulling up scriptures, there's scriptures in the Bible that says that people cannot rest until they cause somebody to stumble. So their job is to try to cause people to stumble. For example, here in the chat, right? The people that's crashing out on me in the chat, the people that's crashing out. And again, it's obvious who's crashing out. I'm not having any conversation with anybody in the chat, right? Unless I pointed out, Josh super chatted me. I still got his comment on the screen. Why have I not taken off? Because I'm not even looking at the chat. But yet you got people in the chat that's just raging out, crashing out, having full-fledged conversations with themselves because I'm not talking to them. And all they're doing is trying to distract. They're trying to cause, for example, cause me to stumble, like the Bible says. How could they cause me to stumble? So, for example, they think by them saying all the things that they're saying that I'm supposed to focus on them. This is my show, right? This is not their show. If they want to start a platform and they want to troll me all day and talk bad to me, I don't care. Make a million videos. You wouldn't be the first. You know how many people on the internet talk bad about me? Why are people on the internet talking bad about me? Because I'm successful. They're jealous. They hateful. They wish they had the gift of gab. They wish they could talk for an hour and 27 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours, and keep engagement, keep people entertained, keep people informed, etc., etc. Teach them something. They wish that they had that ability. Because if they had that ability, they would be using it. Or maybe they are afraid of using said ability. Do you understand? Maybe they're afraid. Instead of walking in faith like the Bible says, they're walking in fear. They're on demon time. Because, Satan governs fear. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob governs faith. So they're choosing fear over faith. They're afraid to walk in their gift. And they're mad at you because you're walking in yours. Whatever it is, maybe you could do hair. Maybe you have a gift for public speaking. Maybe you a content creator. Maybe you work in the government. I mean, it could be anything, right? They mad because you shining. They mad. They are mad at your success. They're literally having their blood boil. Why? Anyone that's fixated on an individual like that, they're on demon time. So when you hear me bring this stuff up about the Democratic Party being fixated on Trump only, listen, notice what I'm saying. They're not fixated on we got to bring everyone down. Pay attention to the conversations. Pay attention to the headlines. Pay attention to the little clips when they show the video clips of what they saying. Go watch the clips and watch the full videos. Watch what they said. It's Trump, 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 Trump. They're focused on Trump. Not everybody. You don't see the headline saying, just in, Prince Andrew, we got to bring him down. Just in, former President Bill Clinton, we got to bring him down. The headlines don't say that. It's Trump, 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 Trump. Why are people so fixated on one person? Shouldn't they be fixated on the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Why are they so fixated to bring this person down? And they're doing this in a negative sense because they want to see you fall. They want to take your spot. The Democrats want to take Trump's spot. They want to get him out, thinking that they can somehow get in his seat. We get rid of him. Think about it. Ladies, how many other ladies you got your eye on a man or it is your man? How many other women is like, if I could get rid of you, I could take your spot? I'm going to be in the house. I'm going to be in there. How many of you ladies know what I'm talking about? I know y'all watch these Lifetime movies, right? Y'all done seen these Lifetime movies, ladies. It's tons of Lifetime movies out there. How do I know? Because I be with women all the time. My wife be pulling up. Other women pull it up. And the woman be trying to get rid of the other woman. How she do it? Either she create these smear campaigns, trying to make the person look crazy, frame them, all types to literally unalive them. They figure if I can get rid of her, then I can have everything. Same thing with the fellas. So you got a lot of people, because your light is shining, because you're successful, because you're doing what you need to do, they're mad at you. Why? Because you're reminding them of the things that they need to work on, and they don't want to put in the work. The Bible says if you don't work, you don't eat. So if you want to be successful, you got to put in that work. They don't want to do that. Yeah, look at what Shakit, shout out to, I just happened to look down at the bottom of the chat. Shout out to Shatika Hollis. She brings up a valuable point, y'all. I want y'all to learn something tonight. I want you to be edified. When I do my content, you're gonna be edified. Okay? Shatika Hollis says, yes, I definitely know. Try to destiny swap with me. There are so many people that try to destiny swap with you. I'm going to give you an example. For example, there's people in the live chat that's looking at me. They see my success. They've seen other videos. He got cars. He got all this. You don't know the blood, sweat, and tears that I had to put in to get to where I'm at. And I'm still nowhere near where I want to be. But they looking at it like, ooh, I want to be like him. Ooh, I want what he got. I want this. I want that. So guess what they do? They try to run smear campaigns. They try to talk bad in the chat, talk bad in the comment section, team up with folks. Think they coming up. Listen, some of these people, they try to get in with you. They try to get in cool with you personally. They try to find out things about you, and then they can go back and try to use that against you. That's right. They try to find out personal things about you, and they try to throw that in your face. Just like they doing Trump right now. Why are they doing it? Because they want to destiny swap with you. They want to be where I'm at. You got people in the chat right now, they're not going to utter it out of their mouths. They want to have a platform like I do. And they want to have people listening like I got people listening. They want to have the support that I have. So instead of them putting in the work, instead of them even responding to me in the proper manner, that I can actually help them out and put them on. Listen, I'm connected when it comes to social media. People don't understand this. I can help some of these same people that's trolling me and hating me. I can help their platforms or their businesses or whatever they got going on. I could tell a couple of people, boom, all of a sudden increase. But instead, they want to hate, they want to troll, they want to attack. You see? And mind you, I'm not doing any of that to them. Look at what they doing to me. I'm not doing any of that to them. You understand? They're upset with the fact that I'm talking with this truth because they want to destiny swap with me. The same way that the Democrats want to destiny swap with Trump. Somebody want to be, they figure if we can bring him down, whoever's going to take the main credit for the Epstein files being released or whatever, or if something could come out or whatever, they figure this will bring him down. They want a destiny swap with President Trump. Right now, you got the Democrats want a destiny swap with the Republicans. They want to be the House in charge. They want to have the power. You see? Destiny swapping. They focus on destiny swapping instead of focusing on the Affordable Care Act and how people are going to eat and get up off of SNAP and what we're going to do in terms of our financial standing and other things. What are we going to do in terms of the migrant situation? Like, what are we going to do with all this stuff? They not focus on that. They focus on the Epstein files, pouring all of their resources into it. Why? Because they want a destiny swap. It never was about that, y'all. Y'all got to wake up. A lot of people act like they about one thing. It never be about that. They just be about taking you out, be about taking your position, like Shatika said. There's a lot of people going through this right now. All they want to do is take your position. You don't say nothing about them. You not doing anything to them, et cetera, et cetera. But guess what? They got a whole lot to say about you, a whole lot to do with you. They going in. And then it's like if you do defend yourself against coworkers or people in your community, like in this case, if we talk about Trump, for example, if he do issue a statement or say something about the Democrats, then all of a sudden he's some big monster. Why? Because he actually stood up to defend himself. Right? Come on now. Watch this. Watch this. Let me show you something. I happen to look at the chat. Patrick Dyson says, you're really stupid. They don't want to destiny swap. They want to save America from a man who doesn't give a shit about Americans. So let me ask you this question, Patrick. What have the Democrats been talking about as of late, ever since the government was open? Let me ask you a question, Patrick. Patrick, has the Democrats been talking about the Affordable Care Act? You talking about they give a shit about Americans? Okay, so let's find out. Patrick, you got the floor for a second, Patrick. Has the Democrats been talking about the Affordable Care Act since the government's been open? Have they been talking about SNAP benefits since the government's been open? Have they been talking about the migrants since the government's been open? Need I continue? No. All the Democrats have been talking about is Trump, 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 Trump. Epstein, 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 Epstein. We're working real hard. Are they working real hard and getting a long-term bill in place to keeping the government from being shut down? Because come January, the government is going to be shut back down if they can't negotiate again. You don't hear them talking about that right now. It's Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. And it's only Epstein as it relates to Trump. It's not Epstein as it relates to Prince Andrew. It's not Epstein files as it relates to former President Bill Clinton or anyone else for that matter. It's Trump, 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 Trump. Look at the headlines. Let's pull up the headlines. Let's pull up the headlines. Let's see what the Democrats been talking about. We're gonna do this real quick. We're gonna pull this up. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. We're gonna go to some of let's go to CNN, right? For example, let's pull up CNN. I want you to see some of the headlines with CNN, right? And when you call people out on this, they try to play stupid. They be like, all of a sudden, they get amnesia, right? They all of a sudden they act like they don't know what's going on. Okay, let's look at CNN. Let's look at some of the videos. Department of Justice names New York federal prosecutor Jay Clayton to lead Epstein probe. Okay, where's the talk about the American people? It's all about the Epstein. What's going on here? Look, Gloria Allred, attorney for 27 Epstein survivors. Epstein wrote he knew Trump well enough to take him down. His worst issue by far, intent on the Epstein controls controversy. And I could continue. Right? We actually have Trump brief on options for military, but this is something that Trump is doing. Massive cover-up congressman on White House response to Epstein saga. Like you see what I'm saying? Let's go to another platform here. Let's go to MSNBC.
Exactly 12 months.
Let's see what they're talking about. Let's look at the latest right here. Trump panics over 20K Epstein emails. I'm surprised this is something, but this is a Shark Tank about the AI boom. Cracks in MAGA. Trump faces blowback over defense. I think they say of H-1B visas. It says 4 hours ago, what is Trump trying to avoid? President dodges questions about Epstein. Start looking at this stuff. Trump directs bonding to investigate, but that's something that Trump is doing. I'm trying to look at the stuff. Epstein survivors to Congress. We will remember your decision at the ballot box. It's like everything is just Epstein, Epstein. What's about the SNAP benefits? What about the Affordable Care Act? I'm just trying to make a point. It's like the Justice Department will investigate Epstein ties, just not to Trump. Oh, this is something I'm not doing that. I gotta subscribe to that. Like everything is Epstein, 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 Epstein. Let me put this on the screen, right? Epstein helped Democratic lawmaker by texting during Michael Cohen testimony. Like everything is just Epstein. Where is the talk about the things that are actually important? The American people. And you got people thinking that the Epstein files is the most important thing. Was the Epstein files important when the government was shut down? You see? Was the Epstein files important when the government was shut down? Answer that question. When people needed food on their table, paychecks, worried about getting evicted, et cetera, et cetera. Was the Epstein files important then? Was it important then? We're asking the question, was the Epstein files important then? No, y'all weren't talking about the Epstein files. All of a sudden, y'all think it's important. Why? Because they program your brains into thinking that's it. That's all these news and media outlets talking about Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. So all of a sudden, you think it's important because you're literally being programmed by the news and media. Prior to the government opening back up, none of y'all was really hardcore focused on it. It came up every now and then. I'm not saying there wasn't a conversation at all ever. Obviously, there's going to be some people talking about it, but the focus was on the bad job. It's Trump's fault. It's the Republicans' fault. This is why the government shut down. The government need to be open up. People need to get paid. People need to eat. Our air traffic controllers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That was the rent. They doing a horrible job. Now all of a sudden it's Epstein all day. I'm just making a point. I'm just making it a point. And you have people that sit in the chat that's trying to deflect because they know I'm right. I'm literally having a live stream that has Epstein in the title. This whole live stream is about the Epstein files being a distraction. And then you got people saying I'm talking about Epstein files too much. Well, that's literally the title of the live stream. It shows you how much they paying attention and what their true intentions are. The live stream is literally titled about the Epstein files are a distraction. And yet you got people saying, I'm talking about it too much. You see how crazy they sound? They're trying to make you think that this live stream is about another topic. It's about the Epstein files being a distraction. The Epstein files was not important. Nobody was talking about that when people was hungry and everything was shut down. But now they're talking about it, and these people cannot handle it. And let me make something clear. I don't waste my time with them. I just use that as an example because they're not going to listen. They're not here to listen. They're not here to be educated. They're just here to troll. This goes back to what I was saying earlier. Their sole purpose is to attack, to try to bring down, to try to criticize, to try to belittle, talk at somebody like they're not intelligent, like they don't know what's going on, etc. Listen, it's just all type of matters of being on demon time. And I want the examples to be right here in the chat. And many of you go through this. Many of you go through this, even if you're a Democrat. Even if you're one of the people that's saying, I want the Epstein files. Listen, some of the same people that's trolling me go through these exact same experiences because these are human experiences that we have in these times. And guess what? They're not even focusing on the conversation. They're too busy focusing on doing the same thing that you see that's being done with these political parties. It's crazy. It's literally crazy. You can see in the live chat who is a hater, who is on demon time, who is only here to troll. They're not here to edify. Like I said, they did double tap the screen. The likes are going up, by the way. The viewers are going up. but they're not here to support the platform. They didn't super chat. They don't hit the PayPal. They don't hit the Venmo. They're not joining the membership. They're not going to hype the video afterwards. They're not going to leave a positive comment. They'll come here and troll, leave negative comments. They're not here to help. They're here to troll. They're here to attack. And I don't even know these people. So it says a lot about them. You got to think about it. That's the times that we're in right now. You got people that's just around to attack and just around to troll. And you don't even know these people. You got people on the road that do it, people in the store, just because they see you and they ready to attack. They ready to troll. Because of how you look, or you're happy, or you got this, or whatever, you driving this, or you eating it. Like, it could be anything, and they just ready to troll you. That's the times we in. That's the times we're in. That's what it's come down to. And it's like when I'm having a real conversation with people are focused on being on demon time. Listen, when somebody's on demon time, they don't care about none of this. Let me just make this clear. They don't care about none of this. They only care about whatever it is they want to bring somebody down. Their number one goal is to bring someone down. They believe by bringing someone down, it's going to make situations better. Y'all know how hell, when they depict hell and they show like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of souls on top of each other, right? And there's a bunch of hands. What do you see? You see a bunch of people pulling somebody down, somebody on top of somebody pulling them down, like crabs in a barrel, crabs in a bucket, right? That's how they are. They're just focused on trying to pull someone down, pulling something down, thinking it's supposed to make something better. Listen, a lot of people are so focused on the Epstein files, they weren't even directly impacted by Epstein. Isn't this crazy? The majority of Americans out here weren't even directly impacted by Epstein. They weren't at the parties. They weren't around. They are not family members of any of these so-called people. They weren't engaged in none of this. Or maybe they were engaged in it, they just don't want to tell us. But the point that I'm making is, they're not directly impacted by this. What difference is it going to make? Like I said, even if somehow Trump was implicated, charged, arrested, removed from the presidency, J.D. Vance would take his spot and the same things will go out. It's not going to change your lifestyle. Instead of Trump, then you would have J.D. Vance or whoever else it would be. It's not going to change anything else as far as what's going on. We'll be right back to this conversation. Okay, Trump is gone. Now what? Now what? You still be in the same situation. You think that by removing Trump, all of a sudden it's just going to magically change everything that's done? I mean, it's just insane. If anybody believes that, man, I can't help you, because you have no understanding and comprehension of how the government works and how much time it takes to quote unquote change things. Yeah. Shout out to Ringo TV Reactions. He's exactly right. These folks just hate Trump. Y'all hate Trump. Look, y'all hate me as much as y'all hate Trump. It's clear. And guess what? I'm going to continue to go on with it. Just like you see Trump. I'm going to continue to do what I do. I'm going to continue to do live stream after live stream, video after video. I'm going to continue to be successful while y'all still going to be mad in the chat. Every time I go live, you're going to be mad in the chat. You can be mad all day, but guess what? Is being mad changing anything in your life? No. The only thing it's doing is shortening your life, because being mad, being angry, having your blood boil, all that's doing is taking time off of your life. It's biblically correct, it's medically correct, etc., etc. It's not adding time to your life. It's taking time away from your life. You mad at me for what? Because I'm successful? Why don't you go out there and do what you do and be successful too? Oh, but wait, you're not going to do that because you don't want to work and you on demon time. And if that triggers you and it bothers you, then good. It should inspire you to get out there and prove me wrong. How do you prove me wrong? By being successful. But y'all not going to get out there and do that. Instead, you want to stay right where you are and stay upset all day because you like the pity party. I tell you, man. I tell you, like I said, I'm gonna be sleeping good tonight. I eat good. Look, I'm good. I've earned the right to be where I'm at. Just like many of y'all have earned the right to be where you are. But some of y'all gonna forever be in your situations because y'all not going about it the right way. See, this is why the Democrats are losing. A lot of people wondering why the Democratic Party is falling apart. They losing it. Everything is going crazy. You know why? It's because they're not going about stuff right. They think about focusing on this smear campaign. This is supposed to get them somewhere. This is crazy. Stuff like that, it just backfires on you. It just backfires. It just literally, it just literally backfires. Just like those of you in the chat, there are people in the chat right now. Y'all focus on proving me wrong. Y'all focus on trying to get me upset. Y'all focus on trying to get me to respond, etc., etc. And all it's doing is getting you nowhere. All it's doing is putting you in a worse situation. It's pushing you further back. And it's allowed me to move further forward. Telling you, man. You got Grandy's Garden says, MAGA in the house. What's up, Grandy's Garden? Telling you, man. Telling you. Tell you, man. And listen, you have a lot of perpetrators. You got a lot of perpetrators. This also in the chat. You have a lot of people that claim that they're successful and got nothing to show for it. You know what's funny? Why is it that when you talk to people, right? You'll talk to anyone and every single individual will claim they're successful. So then if you ask them, well, how are you successful? What have you accomplished? What have you done? Where's your track record? Where's the proof of your success? Where's the fruits of your labor? They don't have it. You know why? Because if they had it, they would speak the way that they speak. People that are not successful speak that way. People that are not successful spend all their time attacking. Listen, if you swimming in money, for example, and somebody else is swimming in money, you're not about to be upset. Another example, for guys, right, that are successful with women, they're not going to be mad at women. Why? Because they're successful with the women. Or, for example, for those of you that sleep around, I mean, it's people that sleep around. If you getting laid by a bunch of women, you ain't gonna be mad at the women. You like, man, I'm getting it. I'm getting laid. But those of you that ain't getting none, you want to smash, you want to get some head, some top, whatever you want to call it. You want to get all that, and you not getting it, you gonna be mad at the women. But those of you that's getting, you gonna be chilly. You like, man, I get this all the time. You see? So it's like you got a lot of perpetrators who claim that they're successful, that they're good, they getting it. If they was good at getting it, they would be straight right now. Instead, they mad, they upset. You could clearly see they're so invested, their time, their energy. See, successful people are gonna sit down. They're going to learn what they can from other successful people. They look to, perhaps partner or work with or study or whatever it is. They like, hey, look, how can I get it? They try to be successful too. Or how can I go even further? When you see people that team up, they're successful, they don't go around trolling each other, bashing each other. That's a poverty mindset. That's folks that's on demon time and folks that's broke. See, anyone can say words out of their mouth and be like, oh, I'm this and I'm that. No, actions speak louder than words. We can see it in your actions. The Bible says you can't be hearers only, but be doers of the word. There's a lot of people you hear say this and say that. We got to look at what they're doing. A lot of people are not moving right. And like I said, this is why the Democratic Party is losing right now. They all get mad. They flip it around. They think they got something right there. They say, "Oh, we got something. Yeah, we got him. We about to get Trump. We got him. We got the Epstein files. We about to nail him to the cross." How many times have they been trying to do this? How many times have they been trying to nail him to the cross? They thought the same thing when they had the 34 counts with the felonies. Oh, we got him. He's a 34 convicted count felon. He's gone. He's still here. The list goes on and on and on. See, a lot of y'all don't understand that a lot of this stuff is planted and a lot of this stuff is fake. That's what they do. A lot of innocent people get judged. You have a lot of people that, for example, all of a sudden, the guy is a perfect guy, right? For some ladies, right? Oh, he's the perfect guy. There's some videos and stuff I'm going to be showing you of that. He's the perfect guy, right? Until they break up. Then when they break up, all of a sudden, he's a horrible. So wait a minute, he was perfect, everything was cool, but then all of a sudden y'all break up. Now all of a sudden he's just evil. Ain't nothing changed. Okay. It's like people do that all the time. And then, like I said, you got other people that are sent. For example, there are people that's in my chat, they be in other people's live chats. They're sent. They're sent by other people. They would never utter those people's names. They're not going to do it. They're sent. Some people are just literally sent by the devil himself. And their job here is to destroy, to try to upset you, to get you mad. For example, there's some people that's been sent. They're here in the chat. They expect me to get mad, get me to crash out, so it'll be some type of proof and evidence. Look, Brainwavezz got mad. Brainwavezz got upset. He raged out. Look what he said. That's the same thing that the Democrats try to do with Trump. They want to catch Trump getting mad, catch Trump crashing out. Look at what he said. Look at what he did. You notice how Trump be cool, calm, and collected when he speak. Y'all notice that, right? Cool, calm, and collected. Every time he speak about whatever is in relation to this Epstein, cool, calm, and collected. What, y'all thought he was supposed to be sweating right now? He's supposed to be getting nervous. He's supposed to be upset. Listen, man, a lot of stuff is a hoax. It's a distraction. They strategically waited. Listen, if the Democrats truly care about bringing Trump down, claiming that he was guilty for this, then why did the Democrats sit on this information? Listen, they did not need to swear in Adelita to release the information that they already released. They released that information before she was sworn in. Go back and look at the timeline. They've been sitting on this information while the government shutdown was going. Why? Because they was waiting on time. They first figured, well, they're going to hold their stance and force the Republicans and force Trump to sign what they want. And had they signed what they had, the Republicans sign what the Democrats wanted, they would have released the Epstein files because they got what they wanted. You see, there's a lot of stuff in that bill that they wanted. If they got what they wanted, they would be cool. But guess what? They didn't get what they wanted. So they had to come up with something. And so they tried to hold their position. It didn't work. Every time the Republicans over 15 times submitted a clean resolution, bipartisan bill, guess what? They didn't want to vote on it. But the same bill that's been submitted 15 times is the one that opened the government back up. No changes, nothing different. The exact same bipartisan bill. Go figure. It took them 16 times to finally sign it, the exact same bill with no changes. So their game plan is, let's go to plan B. Plan B was like, as soon as they open the government and Trump say what he's going to do, let's put the Epstein files out. Let's put the Epstein files out. Again, the Democrats had the information that they currently have. Long before Adelita got sworn in, they were sitting on that information. They just strategically waited to release it. Now they're trying to get more information released since the government opened back up. But y'all got to pay attention to the play. Pay attention to the play. They had this ammunition. They were just sitting there waiting. And because they didn't get what they wanted, it was padded as, oh, it's the Affordable Care Act. Because see, this is why they're not talking about the Affordable Care Act anymore. Because they don't actually care about getting the Affordable Care Act. That's the cover up to make people think, oh, okay, that's what it's about. Because if that was their focus, that would be all that you would see in the headlines right now. The Democrats are focused on that. No, they focus on the Epstein files. And y'all going around like, oh, the Democrats care about everybody. The Democrats care about everybody. They not focused on money, SNAP benefits, Section 8, Affordable Care Act, migrants, international affairs. The list goes on and on. They not focused on none of that stuff. They not focused on the tariffs. They not focused on jobs, all the stuff that Democrats are normally focused in. They not talk about none of it. It's Trump, 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 Epstein. Why? Because they didn't get what they wanted in that Affordable Care Act. It's coded as Affordable Care Act to the general citizen, so that's what y'all think. But behind that is so much more. That's right. A lot of y'all haven't even read the measure. Listen, the majority of people have not even taken a look at it. So yeah, they go on to Plan B. Listen, y'all, all that stuff don't work. Just like people in the chat, they try stuff with me. That stuff don't work. People be wasting their time. They be wasting their time. So, with that being said, speaking since I said time, I think my time is up right now. Until the next show, I'd like to thank everyone that came here in the building. This has been an excellent conversation. I like to thank all of the supporters. Thanking Josh and crew who actually hit the super chat. Shout out to my members, subscribers, the new people that subscribe. Shout out to those of you that actually double tap the screen to get the likes up. Yeah, this is so funny. Yeah, they call them maggots. You know what's crazy these days? You got maggots and you got demon rats. The MAGA supporters are called maggots, and then you got the Democrats are called demon rats. It's like, man, the folks that come up with these titles, it's hilarious, man. It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. But nonetheless, I appreciate those of you that came here, the excellent conversation. And shout out to the trolls. Shout out to the I normally don't do this, but shout out to the demons. Shout out to all the haters that's in the chat. Shout out to all of you that want to see me fall and think I don't know what I'm talking about. And, your blood is boiling right now because you could piss me off or I didn't respond or, didn't even see whatever it is you saying. Like I said, y'all be typing away and I don't even really be looking at the chat like that. I don't waste my time like that. It's a waste of my time to do it because there's people here. You're just here to waste my time. You're here to distract from the message and waste my time. Right? You're not here to support the platform. Like I said earlier, you don't double tap the screen, you don't subscribe, you don't hype the videos up, you don't share, you don't comment out, you don't do anything. You're just here to be mad. You think that you can directly get mad at me. It's like, why is all the anger? Right? Look at this person. This person says, waste of our time. Look, you the one watching me. You the one is wasting your time. You just made yourself look even more foolish. Do you see? Y'all see? Put a 1 in the chat if you see how foolish this particular person by the name of Uncanny Mountain is. This person here says, waste of our time, but you've been watching me commenting for over 2 hours. And you say it's a waste of time? Put a 1 in the chat if you see how foolish this individual looks. If I was a waste of this individual's time, the door is always there. You can leave. You always can leave, right? You can always leave. I'm not holding nobody hostage. This ain't no hostage situation. If I'm wasting your time, click off the video. Instead, they stay. And then they try to turn back around and say that it's a waste of their time like it's their platform. You know why they said that? Because they want a destiny swap with me. Remember we talked about destiny swapping? This person wished that this Uncanny Mountain wished that they had a platform like me. They're not going to admit it in the chat because they get called out. They wish they had a platform like me that I'm on their platform watching them. But that's not the scenario. That's not the reality. You're living in a warped reality. This is my platform, and you've been watching me. And ain't nobody been holding you hostage. I said this earlier. You can leave. You can unsubscribe. I'm not losing no sleep. I'm not upset. I don't even care. If that's what you want to do, please go ahead. Since it's a waste of your time. This is what I'm talking about. These people like sound crazy. They talk and it don't make any sense whatsoever. So it's like if they don't make sense about that particular comment, think about all the other stuff that they say. When we get into the political space or we get into other topics and they be talking and they don't make no sense. That's why I don't waste my time responding to them. Unless I'm making an example to educate you all. Listen, when y'all deal with people, if you see that somebody talking foolish and they not making no sense, don't waste your time with them. Because they not making no sense. Right? They not making no money. They not making no sense. They not making nothing. They not getting anywhere. They not being successful. It's just a bunch of hate and a bunch of foolishness. Right? And that's the same thing that we're seeing even on the political front. So hey, with that being said, if you go through the chat, you'll see the people who are the haters, who are on demon time, because you can look at how they talk and how they respond. They're laughing. They put those crazy emojis. You know how they respond because they're not successful. They're nowhere. They spend their whole life putting people down, and then they wonder why they're the ones that get put down. They wonder why they're down. Their income's down, their situation's down, their opportunities are down, their relationships are down. They wonder why everything is down. They just down. Because they spend their whole time doing. You reap what you sow. If that's what you put out, and that's the words that you say, and that's how you have, that's the experiences you're going to have. Right? That's the experiences you have. That's the exact experiences you have. Look at this person here. Says you're not making any money. I'm making money with every comment you leave. Every time you leave a silly comment like that, I get paid off of it. So keep the negativity coming. Every time you do that, I'm making cha-ching. This live stream is making money off of your comments and off of your viewership. You can you can hate all day. You can hate all day long. All you doing is making me more successful. That's the funny thing about it. All y'all doing is making me more successful. This is absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. And I want to tell y'all what other tip. The people that's broke, they're the ones that go around always saying, you not this, you don't have this, you not doing that. Right? You got this person by the name of Cloud Gaming. Only got 2 subscribers, right? Got 2 subscribers. They got no videos, got nothing going on. No platforms, no websites, no nothing, but they calling me broke. The fact that you watching my content, I'm getting paid off of it. people are so silly. So silly. I'm telling you, every single time it's the non-successful people that talk negative. I'm going to give y'all one tip and I'm getting out of here. Successful people are not going to go around. Now, if you come at somebody, you're going to get checked. Okay, so that's different. I'm responding to these people dragging me. I chose to respond to a comment here and there to make an example. So I'm checkmating them. All right, that's different. Just generally speaking, broke people that's not successful, people that are haters, people on demon time, they spend all of their time talking down, talking negative, hating on somebody. You ain't got this. You ain't like this. That's all they spend their time because you and your success and wherever you are remind them of their failures. Remind them of where they want to be, where they should be, but they don't want to put in the work. So if you don't work, you don't eat. You don't get to that level because they don't want to put in the work. Right? Successful people spend all their time recognizing other successful people. Oh, wow, that's great. They spend their time working on partnerships and relationships with other successful people. They focus on getting to the success, focus on getting to the bag, focus on getting to whatever. They ain't got time to be focused on that. And occasionally they might be like, look at those folks hating. Yeah, whatever. Let's keep on going. Let those haters be motivators. So for all of y'all hating in the chat, y'all just motivators. So thank you for that. Thank you for the hateful comments. Thank you for all that. Y'all nothing but motivators. And I appreciate it. The Bible says that God will prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. So if you're hating, you want to see me fall, you talking all negative, you're considered an enemy in that aspect. God has just prepared a table that you're going to have to sit there and watch me eat off of. So, hey, keep it on. With that being said, I'm getting out of here. Appreciate y'all, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Make sure you double tap the screen on your way out. You know, this is what you do. Double tap. See the like button? Tap, tap. Saw that? Hold on. I'm hitting pause. Tap, tap. Oh, I'm hitting the pause button. Try to do it without the pause. Y'all saw it before. See that? Double tap the screen. See how that happens? Tap, tap. Get the likes up and make sure you subscribe to the platform. I will catch y'all in the next one. Yeah, Patriot Chick is right. Hate is from the devil. It's clear who's rocking with God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you know, God the Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Christ's Father, you know, and who rocks with Satan. Because the folks that's rocking with Satan got a lot of hate. With that being said, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace and blessings. I'm out.